Hey, and welcome back to Power of the Programmer. This is section 4.7, potential pitfalls of using Python instead of a spreadsheet application for your data processing. In the last section, we covered data visualization, looking at some sample sales data, covering 3 different channels, such as eBay, Amazon, and Etsy, and processed it to find the average time between sales per state, as well as per channel. In the section before that, we covered data cleaning, and before that, we covered CSVs and reading files. So in this section, this is more of a talking rather than an example section. I like to just discuss some of the pros and cons of each of the methods of data analysis. So like every tool, Python is imperfect. The startup time is a little bit higher than running it with a spreadsheet. Spreadsheets come in are built pre-packaged, so when you download it, it's ready to go. And saving progress is easy, so it's a much better, quick beginner's tool. Whereas Python is much more powerful for advanced data processing, such as handling large amounts of data and also doing advanced operations around math. This comes in handy. One of the pros of using Python is that it is very powerful. It is very fast when everything is set up properly. And also it can handle almost every format, such as CSVs, JSON, text, and almost anything you throw at it as long as you know the format. You could get a text file with the data process laid out like this, with each pound hashtag as a different piece of data. And if you knew how it was formatted, you can go ahead and use Python to read and interpret that data. Whereas something like that for a spreadsheet application might be difficult, and might be kind of a headache. So this is one of the applications of Python. It's very universal. It's very powerful. As long as you know how the data is formatted, where it came from, then you can go ahead and use it however you like. It's really a Swiss Army knife. In addition to that, another pro is that Python does hook up into other applications, such as Tensorflow, which is Google's machine learning library. Pull it up right here. Tensorflow is an advanced library that performs basic machine learning. And advanced machine learning, it provides a couple different layers that let you process your data and performs unsupervised as well as supervised machine learning. If you are familiar, then you know how powerful that is. If you are unfamiliar, machine learning is a fascinating subject. I am looking into building a course for it in the future. Machine learning is very powerful, especially in data applications. It lets you find patterns and understand and classify data. Like, for example, if you get a bunch of sales data, machine learning is very good at identifying customer types. If you're familiar with Facebook audience, lookalike audiences, this is a concept built on top of machine learning. So basically what Facebook does is they find, based on Facebook ads, they find a group of users that purchase your product and then use machine learning to find potential customers that are very similar to them. So this is an application of machine learning. It's a very powerful business tool for classifying data if you have enough labeled. Like I said, if you're familiar, then you realize how powerful it is. If you're unfamiliar, there are a lot of resources online, and I will be looking into releasing a course covering machine learning under Power of the Programmer in the near future. So now those are the pros. To recap, it's very powerful, it's very universal as advanced libraries. That makes it very easy to convert your Python application to clean it, followed by analyze, followed by use advanced libraries to continue your analysis. The pitfalls are that it's a bit more. The cons are a bit more. It's a bit more specialized. It takes a little bit more of uptime, such as if we're looking at this Python, this spreadsheet. If we were performing simple tasks, then sometimes it does make more sense to use a spreadsheet application, such as if we're doing a very simple task like summing the items in a row. Something like this, where we are summing the quantities, is very quick in Google Docs, as well as Excel, as well as numbers. And something like this will take time in Python, because to get this simple calculation, you would first have to read the file, then you'd have to lay out the file, and then you can finally read it. So one step turns into three. So something simple like this, it doesn't make a lot of sense to use Python for. Another con is that Python is really ephemeral, which means that unless you write code specifically to saving your file, then it's gone after the program disappears, whereas Excel makes it very easy for you to save your data. The last con is that Python does require special setup, whereas some spreadsheet applications come built into your computer. You can access Google Docs from the website, so you can really access it anywhere. So accessibility is something that should be noted for. The worst feeling is if you have something, but and you want to show it to, you have some data analysis application, and you want to show it to somebody, but you don't have the final data ready, and they don't have the application on their computer. They're much more likely to have a spreadsheet application rather than Python set up on their computer properly. So this will lead to potential issues running and demonstrating your analysis. But overall, both spreadsheet applications and Python are very good tools for your business. It's really about choosing and picking the right tool for the right situation. As you probably already know, spreadsheet applications do get kind of slow when there's a lot of data to process, as well as it can only handle certain files. So those are some of the cons of using a spreadsheet application. Big data is much easier to process in Python. So this section is just covering some of the pros and cons of using both applications and both types of analysis. There's really a right time for everything. So before jumping straight into processing your data in Python, think a little bit and just think, is Python the right tool for this kind of data set? Is Python the right tool for this kind of analysis? If it's a simple analysis, it might make more sense on a spreadsheet application. If it's a specialized format, it's because sometimes if you're grabbing data from a parser, I know personally some of the parsers I've used, they definitely return the file in a JSON format rather than a CSV, such as ParseLab is one of the options that does that. So that is an example of when knowing Python comes in handy greatly, whereas sometimes processing tax information makes a lot more sense using a CSV. So there's a time and place for everything. Just take 5 minutes to plan out and think, know what operations you're going to be doing before you jump in, and then pick the right program for you. This covers the pitfalls of using Python, and in the next section I'll be showing you how to save your files for output so that you can present it to a decision maker, or pass it up the chain of command, or just have a copy ready for you if you're a solo entrepreneur or a small business owner. So whenever you're ready, I'll see you in the next section.